Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Soulful Photographer Ashok. The next one is the little extension of the earlier we already touched upon. Scan the scene quickly. When you're in the street, scan it quickly and position yourself accordingly. So that is just the extension of the earlier one. This is very important. Settings as per your comfort. It can be full manual, full auto, semi-auto. In fact, there is no formulation. There is no formula to this. Every photographer has got his own comfort zone or comfort. For example, I am very happy doing total manual. I have full control. Of course, it has to be lightning fast, but by practice, you achieve it. It's simple. Again, this one is also as important as the previous one, and a long debate how close you should be from the subject. The advocacy is 24 millimeter, 35 millimeter, 50 millimeter. I don't endorse that. As an artist, my job is to capture the scene, capture the moment. My job is not to get into debate. As I use for my work, I use from 24 millimeter and sometimes I use 15 millimeter and go up to 450 millimeter, which I'll showcase. So the scene is happening 300 meters from me. Should I run? And by the time I run and break my leg and reach there and the action is over. Why not? I capture that. It is more important. So that is me. You may be benefited of it. Avoid eye contact with your subject. No need because you shoot almost one session, you shoot more than 500 images. And you can't manage to have eye contact with 500 people, or in one scene there may be 5 to 7 or 10 people. So it's not possible. It's not good as well. That may restrict your speed. So avoid eye contact. Do not worry about the technical perfection. Till date, some of the best images shot by the masters or maybe little soft, out of focus. I'll not say out of focus, little soft, and sometimes they were blurry. But the important was the action, the moment that was priceless, and they won many prizes. Another tip comes is the look for elements, key elements in the street, like graffiti, billboards, signages, reflections, patterns, textures, and on and on and on. And try to engage your subject, a suitable subject to that billboard or texture or whatever it comes. Another repeat, connect with your subject is your extension. Listen to their stories with compassion, with honestly. Listen to their stories, and if you can be of any help, go ahead. Sometimes some interesting subject is there in the streets, and you might have to follow that subject. Go ahead. You don't know where the subject is going to give you a wonderful picture, an image of lifetime. So don't restrict yourself. You can travel with that subject if you find it very interesting. And another point which comes to my mind is that in metros or in the big cities, nobody has time to look at you. Everybody's life is so busy. Everybody is so engaged. Everyone has got their own life and they're fast running. So don't be bothered about. And they're self-occupied. Again, repeat, don't be afraid of using telelenses. Try, nothing to lose. So the trial can happen. Keep a lot of memory cards, and sometimes some cards get corrupted. It's hardly any weight, so just keep it in your pocket. It's always good to have extra. And respect the other's viewpoint. The other has got all the right, like you have right to capture, the other has got right to say no. Respect it and move on. No arguments, please. Another way of putting a point which we already spoken about, work in anticipation. You know the person is traveling from X to Y zone, right? Something is going to happen. He might have to jump a puddle or something like that. So anticipate it. Walk slower than normal, because we will spend there 2, 3, 4 hours. So why rush? Just walk slowly. The choice is yours whether you want to be at one place and taking pictures and waiting for the subject to enter, or you're just moving and seeing the subjects and capturing. That's personal choice. discover a new in you every day. So the previous day or days or weeks or months experience will give you a new dimension. You will be a new person today than yesterday. Discover it. Relax and shoot. It's not competitive. It's not running 100-meter race that I have to win. Just relax. Again, remember not to follow any rules. You're an artist. You're an artist with tons of liberty. Use that. A little technical is that look for foreground, midground and the background. I'll come to this again a little later. Another technical point is set your camera to situation and periodically check it. What I mean periodically is every turn check it, because the light is changing fast. Check the settings, as the light is really very naughty thing in the streets. Look masters' work carefully, but never follow them. Never ever follow any master or anyone. We call it idol. No. Then you are throwing your energy or you're copying somebody's work. That is somebody's style of image making, not yours. See the work, but don't follow. Initially it may help you not to copy them, just to follow the techniques or to follow the style, but be conscious, not for lifetime. You have to give them away. They were in their zones, right? They were in their times. So we are moving, the galaxy is moving very fast. The times have changed. So be you. By that, you will create your own style, your identity. Initially, create a checklist. Where are you going? Why you're going? Make a small diary. Keep it in your pocket or a camera bag. And what is going to be that day's shoot. And broadly note it down, notes that what kind of lighting was there and what was the time for that particular space or town or in that particular street, so that you know that the morning this is the kind of light in that street and the evening this is the kind of light in the X street or Y street. Very important point, which is the next one, is the select equipment wisely. Be light, don't take extra load, don't take all the lenses, right? You may need 1 or 2 lenses. Or something came to my mind is when you're starting it, the best way to start is to take 1 focal length for a week. Per week, 1 focal length. If you're shooting 6 days a week, give 6 days to 1 focal length. May start from 18 or 24, go till what you have. That gives you a different, I'll say, the insight of you, where you are comfortable with. After 6 to 8 weeks, you will come to know, this is the style, or this is what I like. I like 50 millimeter, I like 200 millimeter, whatever I like. So that may help you. Create themes, write it down that today is, I'll focus on reflections, humor, celebrations, or skies with people, and or follow a story which is going on. Very important, especially the streets of developing countries or the countries or the cities which are towns which are very old towns. And they are always dark. Don't worry cranking your ISO. 3400, 6400, 12,000 onwards. Because today you have in post, you can easily rectify it. Or I'll say, grain adds value to street photography. Again, repeating that I come from analog. Every film had grain. And we used to love 400 ISO. That time it was ASA. Or sometimes it was difficult to get 1600 or 3200, or we used to push 1600 to 3200 to get those grains. So don't be worried about it. These are small things. Again, trust that every image is not going to be great, and majority will be normal and simpler. Enjoy that. If you get 1 or 2 or 3 a day, you're there. Be kind. Smile. It comes for free. Compliment the other. And especially when you're in a tight situation, or even otherwise also. It's always good to make friends, because these are the places we repeatedly go. Try all permutation combinations. What I mean by that is, from freezing the motion, deliberate blurs, intentional camera moments, or take advantage of today's technology. Make panoramas in street, which I started off late. I create panoramas. Wow, such a tight corner street. And I had 6 frames. take advantage of it. Initially, it's important actually to work collectively, go in small groups so that the fear of others is reduced. Initially, as mentioned earlier, practice, practice, practice means spend as much time, long hours in the street. Long hours, I mean to say minimum 4 to 5 hours. Gives you many advantages. For example, you start at sunrise and you reach till noon. So you know what is the best lighting. Very important. Accept criticism. Somebody is writing something, some sentences which is not, you're not liking it. This is someone is teaching for free. So this tutor has come for free. So appreciate that. Give yourself assignments or stories that the next few weeks I'll be working on this story which you liked, and turn those stories into projects. Catalog your work very well. Very important, because over the time you will have hundreds and thousands of images. No idea where I shot. Bend yourself, flex yourself. Don't be afraid of lying down in the street. Don't be afraid sitting down, standing, and being maybe looking a little odd to others, but doesn't matter, I need to get the shot. Very important, which is happening, which I see is done, is almost every third person is talking about it. Do not waste your time on the arguments of equipment. It's a waste of time, energy, and you end up spending unwanted money which you will not be using. So no discussions on this. Avoid as much as you can. Again, I'll repeat the first few lines I spoke. The equipment you have, it may be 60s camera, doesn't matter. Who bothers? You're shooting film. Who bothers? All the masters created timeless images those days with very basic equipment. So equipment has got nothing to do with creating an image. Just the extension of the few, one of the pointer is, be a falcon. It is the game of split second. It does not unfold and gives you in slow motion and gives you time and space. No, it'll just go within fraction of second. It is over. Be open to share and to learn at the same time. What you got, share with your fellow friends so that they improvise on that and you further improvise on it. That's the way I chose to grow. Be honest to yourself. Again, repeat, other is you. You might have seen nowadays everybody taking selfies. What that shows? That everyone likes their own images. One of my doctor friend, he mentioned, he's a psychiatrist in one of the hospitals, the head of the department. He says 2 things a human likes. One, listening to the name. Another, seeing own images. Take advantage of that. Switch off all the blinking lights on your camera and try if your camera can shoot on electronic mode, electronic shutter. It makes no sound. Why even have the sound of the shutter when today's digital technology can record without the sound? Yeah, this is this one is very important because I take you to 1985. Many of you might not have born by then. I was lucky to have one of the best mentors in India, the most respected photographer ever, late Shri, I call Shri instead of Mr. T. Kasinachi. And he used to give one-liners. And I have practiced those one-liners very religiously. One of the one-liner was, look the background first, then the subject. This is like a knot to me from the day one. I have to forgive or give away the image if the background is very distracting or disturbing. So keep in mind that background is more important than the subject. It may ruin or it may make an image. Very important, another one. Every city and town in this world has got its own feel, energy, ambience, architecture, movement of people, dress code and whatnot. Photography in New York and New Delhi or Old Delhi, it's got no comparison. Photographer of New York or Western world, they talk about zone focusing, which may not be relevant at all when I'm shooting in Old Delhi. It is so crowded. It is so crowded. Every third second, I can have a subject 3 feet away from me, 20 inches away from me, or 10 feet away from me. So, adapt yourself to the city and the people and what is happening there. As a candid photographer, you do not ask permissions. Wherever I shoot, right, whether in India or abroad, I don't ask permission. I'm a candid photographer. I want to capture that candid moment. I'm not a documentary photographer where I put a subject in a shade or somewhere and take a portrait, which is very conscious kind of a. That is the documentation. No, the charm of street photography is capturing those candid moments. So I don't ask permission. Yes, later, if I like it, I would love to share with my subject. Try capture, very important, try capture raw. Don't rely on JPEG. You have no latitude on JPEG, even the masters. So raw is the key. You can play with the dynamic range, so you have lots of latitude. Have full command over post-processing. Today, capturing an image and post-processing carry the same weight. Rather, in post-processing, you can create an image today. It is so powerful. That's why raw. And the list goes on. Be innovative. Give a new dimension to street. Don't bother what the other is going to say or the comments. Your expressions. Street is you and your subject, dynamic subject. So be yourself. Be innovative. Very important, which I often see in the street because I go quite often to streets. Photographers listening to music. I'll say, try to avoid that for two reasons. One, you may get carried away with this music. Secondly, you are not listening to the ambient sound or somebody is shouting, some scene is going to happen. You'll miss that. So try avoiding. Rest is your choice. Very important point. Stop looking at the screen after every shot. Go home or take a break, have a coffee and then see the shots. In digital world, one thing is missing, which is one of the most important is get your images printed. The most important, get your images printed to have a feel of that. See the tonalities on the paper and holding the paper, that itself is a different feel, a different world altogether. So we are digital people, we talk about all the time, we are looking for the digital images. They all look the same, but once it is printed, the image is different. Trust me, you'll love it. Attend workshops, visit photo galleries, go to friend's place, see his prints or her prints, get a different feel altogether. And I'll try to sum up here because the list is endless. Use technology to your advantage. In street, nobody is going to tell you this. Shoot continuous, burst mode. Don't go frame by frame. Those days gone when the film had only 36 frames or 12 frames. Today we have endless frames. Why miss a moment when you can capture 7 frames, 6 frames, 20 frames in a second? Why? One frame, 1/60th of a second or 1/200th of 50th of a second. You will never miss the decisive moment. So the definition to decisive moment has changed. Shoot continuous. Of course, the list is on and on, but I suppose you will like it. And by now you again, you must have decided actually to give the thumbs up or subscribe the channel. And I assure you, wonderful times and good content. See you in the next one. Thanks.